And welcome back to Learning from Leaders with your host, Patrick Dewar. My guest today, Kevin Campbell. I'm so thankful for Kevin being here. Kevin is the president of CITBroadband.com and Sierra Networks. I want to talk a little bit more about Sierra Networks this time because it's really, its big emphasis is really in the business-to-business solutions, or in bringing solutions to the business arena. Mm-hmm. So I know that they do kind of big solutions to boutique, but I want to get more information about what do you actually do for the businesses in the area?
Well, one of our advantages in the business market is that we're still small enough that we're nimble as far as being able to help create custom solutions for our clients. We're big enough to deliver whatever they need, small enough to still be flexible and able to help from a more of a consultative role in helping them design a solution. One of the areas that we excel in is we're able to deliver high-capacity wireless circuits to our customers, where sometimes they're in a position where their options are T1s or several T1s, and then they have to jump up to the next level, which is a DS3. If I start talking too technical, just reach over and slap me, and it'll go away. But sometimes if you have to bring in multiple T1s, there's expensive bonding equipment to make that circuit function as one.
Right.
We are able to bring in on a single cable several times that bandwidth. You know, if you've got a T1 compared to our 10 megs
right.
that we can deliver on a single cable, or and actually we can go up higher than that substantially. But that's an advantage that we have, is we're able to bring in on a single circuit much higher capacity bandwidth at a much lower price.
Right. Now, the applications that you would see something like that, what are some examples of some applications that you've recently even experienced where you've brought that to bear?
I was getting ready to bring up our point-to-point solutions, and that's one that we just recently we've just finished doing one for a client in the Dallas area, and their alternative that they were looking at was they have two facilities that are a few miles away from each other, and they want to be able to span their voice communications via voice over IP and their data communications across both facilities as if they were in the same building.
Okay.
So somebody in building A could print a document, and it would print in building B.
Oh, okay.
So they wanted their network spanned or bridged, where it is just one network. We were able to do. Their alternatives were a point-to-point link hard line from one of the big telcos, and that was going to cost them about $900 a month for a T1 connection, which is 1.5 megs. And we were able to bring them in more than roughly 13 times the bandwidth
right.
between those two facilities for a third of the price.
Wow.
So 13 times more for a third of the price. And we're talking about saving them, thousands and thousands of dollars every year.
Right.
And
that's pretty significant.
It's very significant. Other areas that we can excel in the business markets, failover connections, meaning that, say, a customer is a DS3 customer, they have a huge internet connection to somebody. Odds are, if they have that much internet connection, they can't afford even 10 minutes of downtime.
Right.
And what can happen sometimes on fiber circuits is what we refer to in the industry as backhoe fade, which is where some local contractor has driven a backhoe through the fiber optics.
Ow.
And that'll cost, when that happens, and companies that are extremely dependent on the internet, they can lose thousands of dollars a minute
right.
when that kind of thing happens. So we can provide redundant connections. If somebody is with they want a hardline connection into their facility with whatever much bandwidth is on it, we can bring them in a wireless connection that is a backup or failover or load balance, where they have two internet connections running, one wirelessly and one hardline.
Right. So that they've always got a solution either
exactly.
way. Now that really means a lot, especially in some of the financial markets mm-hmm. and some of the insurance types of things where they're backing up their facilities, and I know that to run a wire, a real cable, a fiber cable, mm-hmm. costs tons.
It does. It's very expensive to actually trench cabling into any kind of area that's already pre-existing, which is why in a lot of areas you see that the internet technologies have kind of passed by certain areas. It's because the cost of going back in there and actually trenching cables into the ground is so significant, and there are so many homeowners to deal with and that kind of thing that it's very difficult to go in. So we're able to, and that's another point to bring in here, is availability of the products. We can, when somebody decides they want us to put something in, where you might be looking at a month or longer from some companies, we can have it done usually within a week to 2 weeks.
Wow.
And that's on a custom solution.
Right.
You know, our regular solutions we can have done in days.
That's pretty significant.
Another areas that we can also do is that we can help businesses is in the area of disaster recovery and disaster planning. We can bring in backup circuits, or that same kind of circuit we were talking about a minute ago for failovers, and back up their data, their critical data, to a remote facility that we have that's just outside of the loop in Fort Worth, meaning that it's not in the downtown area. Think tornado in downtown, what is it, 8 years ago now. We had, that was back when I was doing IT consulting, and we had customers whose computers were gone. They literally got sucked out the windows during the tornado, and they were never found. So if they didn't have a recent backup, and most people don't, very few people are good about backing up their data. So we can do remote data backups for folks where their data is being transmitted over one of our links back to our data facility. We can also help them as far as contingency planning for if something does happen to their facility, how they can be back up and running in business quickly.
That's great. Well, one of the things I want to really make a note here about what Kevin's doing, I know that this section of today's show has been hyper technical, but if you're a business owner and you've looked at technical solutions or IT solutions, you're well familiar with everything that Kevin said. And you're the kind of person that I know CIT and SEER can really help. And I want to encourage you to be mindful of that when you're looking for solutions, you don't just have to do what big boy A or big boy B is trying to get you to take on. There are some solutions that are significantly less expensive and many times more reliable that Kevin and his crew can put together for you. And I have to admit, that's something that is really important to any IT guy right now. Now, Kevin, what would you like an IT guy or a business owner that needs large amounts of data backed up, or a secondary solution, what would you want them to do?
They could just give me a call at our office. That number, I believe, is on the screen during the show, or hit our website. For any of the large specialty items, they would need to actually speak to somebody individually. You can't just get the information off the website, but you could sign up to have us call you if you're surfing the web in the middle of the night and want to get on our website out of normal business hours. You could leave information there and get contacted, or just give us a call at the office, and we can help start down that road of creating a custom solution for you. That's great.
That's great. Well, like I say, the biggest thing that I encourage anybody to do right now is to go visit citbroadband.com. Connect to Kevin and his crew. I know we're going to take a break here in just a little bit, but when we do, when we come back, we're going to be talking about how Kevin and his crew, what they do that's so unique in the internet service provision process, so to speak. How they treat a client in a way that's very unique and special because, well, quite honestly, their folks talk Texan. Well, I mean, sort of. They speak English in every area, and I'm really thankful for that. Not to be tacky, but I'm really glad for that. With that, we're going to take this break. We'll be right back.